Hello, good morning to all of you. We are on the points of the nomenclature of the organic compounds. So in the nomenclature of organic compounds, we are on the first point, that is the selection of the longest continuous chain. While giving the name to the organic compounds, that is U.P.Sc name nomenclature, the first criteria is the select longest continuous chain. Then important criteria is the numbering, and numberings are given from those ends to which the substituents are near. Means that if we start the numbering to the longest continuous chain, so we have to select the terminals to which the substituent attach at the shortest distance. So these are the basics, we know all these things. So according to this, we have to give the nomenclature name to the organic compounds. And if the compounds contain the more than one similar alkyl groups, their positions are indicated separately, and an appropriate numerical prefix, that is the di, tri, tetra, is attached to the name of the substituent. The position of the substituents are separated by the commas. The structures are given here. Okay, this is the structure here. In that structures, the longest continuous chain having the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number of carbon atoms, and that 5 carbon atoms chain attached with the 2 substituent, that is the 2 methyl groups at the number 2 and at the number 3. That's why we are using the 2,3 dimethyl pentane as a name. Next is if there is a different alkyl substituent present in the compound, their name are written in the alphabetical orders. So here structure is the given here. In these structures, it is the CS3CH. We have to select the longest continuous chain. This longest continuous chain having the 5 carbons and substituent attached at the 2, 3 positions. 2 positions, 3 position, 2 methyl groups are there. That's why we can write it the dimethyls. And at the position number 3rd, there is a one ethyl group attached. So that ethyl group is also important. Okay, so that ethyl group is attached, ethyl group is there. So we have to write down these are the prefixes. So we have to write down the ethyl as a prefix and the methyl as a prefix, but according to the alphabetical order. So according to alphabetical order, ethyl comes first. So 3 ethyl, 2, 3 dimethyl pentane as a compound. This is the second rule. Then if the 2 different alkyl groups are there located at the equivalent position, then the numbering in the chain, carbon chain, is done in such a way that the alkyl group which come first in alphabetical order gets the lower position. This is also important. Okay, if the compound has the 2 or more chain of the same length, okay, if the compounds having the 2 or more chain of the same length, then principal chain is selected in such a way that the greater number of substituent work as the prefix. So in this case, if you select the longest continuous chain, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this way, so we will get the 2 substituents at the position number 2 and position number 3. So we can name it as the 2, 3. Okay, so 3 ethyl, 2 methyl pentane. So selection process is the most important. We have here 2 options. We can select another chain also, which is having the 5 number of carbon atoms, but having only one substituent attached. But if we select this current chain, as the longest continuous chain. In these conditions we will get the two substituent at the position number 2 and the substituent at the position number 3. So preferences are given. Okay, chain selected in such a way that the greater number of substituent work as the prefix. So this is the rule of the IUPAC. Next is the, in case of the some functional groups, we know that which are the functional groups. Okay, so this is present in the molecules is indicated by adding the suffix, and that suffix is generally added at the terminal end of the alkane, alkene, alkynes by replacing the e of the prefix primary suffix is generally removed before the adding the secondary suffix. So terminal e of the primary suffix is removed, and if it is the followed by the suffix beginning with the AIOU or Y. So here is the name is given. Functional group is here. यहाँ पर कौन सा functional group है? यहाँ functional group is the OH, and OH is the hydroxy groups. Alcoholic functional group. So alcohol is indicated by the OL. Okay, OL is the alcoholic group attached in this. So alcohol should be written in the form of the suffix. Alcohol is on the position number 2, so that is 2-ol. 3-methyl butane 2-ol is the name of this organic compounds. In this case it is alkane, but in another case, another example, in this example here is the alkane systems. So number of carbon is the 1 2 3 4 butene. Alkene is at position number 3, the but 3 in. Okay, last e, that is the last letter of the primary suffix, is the replaced by the suffix secondary suffix, that is oic acid. So butane 3 in oic acid is the name of that particular compound. In this way we can give the numbering to the numerous examples. Same, some of the functional groups always work as the prefix. We know that if these functional groups are present in the molecule, at that time these are always given in the position of the prefix. Okay, halogen compounds, it may be the chlorine, bromine, iodine, or it may be the chlorine, bromine, iodine. It may always work as the halo compounds. Next is the OR. OR means the alkoxy groups. Alkoxy groups also always work as the so in this way we can give the name to the some of the substituents attached in the form of prefixes. So halogen compounds is the, it is given is the halo. Chlorine is the chloro, bromo, iodo. Then OR groups also always written as the prefix, that is the alkoxy groups, methoxy, ethoxy, butoxy group. Then the epoxy group is there also. Okay, NO2 group is the nitro groups, it is also given in the prefix. NO group, nitroso group is also there, nitroso group is also there. So these are the important substituents, and it can be written as the prefix. So here is a 1-methoxypropane, okay, 1,2-epoxybutane. These are the substituents are given here. Next is the important functional groups are there. If the molecule contains the more than one functional group, similar or dissimilar functional groups, then the numbering of the parent chain is done in such a way that the functional group of higher priority gets the lower numbers. So order of priority of the various groups for the sake of the numbering is given in the tables. So if more than one functional group are there in the chain or in the molecules, at that times we have to choose one of the functional group as the primary or a principal functional group. So we know that which functional groups are the principal one comparatively. So number 1 given is the preference is given to the, that is the carboxylic acids, and prefix is the carboxy and the suffix is the OIC acid. SO3H Okay, SO3H is also there. So SO3H is given that sulfo group, okay, prefix, and if you return the suffix, that sulfonic acid group. Then the acetic anhydride, it is oic acid, oic anhydrides. Then the ester is there, so it can be written as the carbonyl or carboxyl or alkoxy or carboloxy as the prefix, and the alkyl OAte, if there is butane, the butanoate as the suffix. In case of the halo compounds, haloformyl compounds or oil halides. In case of the amide, it can be prefix as the carbamyl or the amido groups and the suffix as the amide. In case of cyanide, if written in the prefix, it is a cyano, and in the suffix it is a nitrile. In case of isocyanate, it is written as the carbylamine or isocyano groups, and in the prefix form, sorry, it is suffix form is the isonitrile. In case of the aldehyde, if it is written in the prefix, that the formyl groups or oxo groups, and it is in the suffix form, it is Al as the last letter of the that alkane, alkene, alkynes. In case of the ketones, the prefix is the keto or oxo groups, and the suffix is the ONE. In case of the OH group, that is the alcohol, in the form of prefix it is the hydroxy, in the form of suffix it is the OL. In case of the SH, in the prefix form it is a mercapto, in the suffix form it is a thiol. In case of NH2 and amines, if it is in the suffix, then it is the amine, and it is in the prefix it is the amino. In case of the O group, alkoxy group, double bond group in, triple bond group ine, okay, halogen, halo, nitro group is nitro. The halo nitro is always in the form of prefixes. Here are the examples are given here. Here are the two functional groups are there. Okay, one functional group is the carbonyl functional group, okay, ketonic, and another functional group is the hydroxy functional group. If you see the sequence of the functional group, okay, so according to the sequence, according to the preference, ketonic group having the preference compared to the OH group, hydroxy group. So prefix ketonic group is selected at the parent functional groups, so it is written in the suffix form, okay, which is having the higher priority, that is written as the suffix, and which is having the lower priority, that is written as the prefix. So we know that if ketone is there, in the case of the ketone, it is in the suffix, it is written as the ONE, and the hydroxy group, it is in the prefix, it is written as the hydroxy. Okay, OH group is written as a hydroxy. So in the 3 position is there OH group, so 3 hydroxy, 3 methyl, butane, 2-one is the name of that particular compounds. Another example is there. Okay, here is also second example. In this case, the one is on the one position is the aldehyde, second position is the ketones. Okay, so we know that we have to firstly choose the preference. Okay, priority are given to the aldehyde or the ketone, we have to select first. Okay, if the priority on the basis of this, the aldehyde having the priority, aldehyde having the priority. So aldehyde priority is the here. So if it is a select as the principal, okay, means main, so it can be written as a suffix. If aldehyde is in the suffix, it is written as the al aldehyde. Another, the second one is the ketone. Ketone is selected as the prefix. So in the case of prefix, it is written as the oxo groups. So numbering is start here 2-keto propanol, keto or oxo group. Here 2-oxo propanol. Here is also two functional groups are there. One is the carboxylic acid, another one is cyanide. The preference are always given to the acid carboxylic acid, so it is selected as the principal, okay, functional group, and it is written in the suffix, and cyanide is written in the prefix. The suffix is the propanoic acid, and 3 is the cyanide. Cyanide is in the prefix, and in the prefix cyanide written as the cyano group. So 3 cyanopropanoic acid as the functional group. So in this way we can give the nomenclature to the compounds. Next is the functional group suffix. Okay, COOR H is the carboxylic group, COOR is the carboxylate group, COX is the carbonyl chloride group, CONH2 is the carboxyamide group, CN is the in the suffix carbonitrile group, NC is the carboisonitrile group, CHO carbonaldehyde group. Okay, so sometimes it is a special suffix is used for the given functional group also. Okay, in case of the here some examples are here, that is the 3 functional groups are here, 3 aldehyde functional group. So in this case the longest continuous chain having the 5 carbon atoms, so it is the pentane. Okay, and aldehyde group attached at the 1, 2 and the 3 position, 1, 2 and 4 position, so it is written as the 1, 2, 4 tricarboxyaldehyde. So tricarbonaldehyde in special cases. Okay, here is also tricarbonitrile, in this case tributane 1,3,3 tricarbonitrile groups. Okay, in case of the here is also examples are given. In this case 3-cyanomethyl pentane 1,5-dinitrile is the name of that particular compound. So cyclic chain are also there. If there is cyclic chain attached, at that time the prefix cyclo is used. Okay, so cyclo is the 3-member ring, the cyclo, okay, cyclopropane. If the 4 number is the cyclobutane, 6 number cyclohexane. Okay, and then numbering start on the cyclic rings. Here is the numbering are given according to the U.P.Sc. nomenclature system. So numbering start from the halogen aldehyde group 1, 2 and 3. So cyclohexane 1, 2, 4 tricarbonaldehyde. So cyclo indicated that there is a cyclic rings. Okay, if the aromatic ring system are there, so at that times 3-aminobenzene carbamide is also there attached there. Okay, so in this way we can give the nomenclature to the organ. Some of the parts, remaining part we will cover in the next lecture.